Set a timer for 25 minutes. Once you set that timer, select the awareness level you want to target with your lead, and then look at that particular chapter in Great Leads and go from there. Because that chapter is going to indicate exactly what steps you need to take in order to write the lead in the best, most effective way to capture their attention for the sales argument that's coming up. All right, set a timer, knock it out, and then move on to the next part. Step 4 is the body copy. So what you've done now is write at least 5 really solid headlines to capture attention and capture interest for your target market. You also now have the working beginning of a solid lead. That means whatever attention you've grabbed from the headline has been paid off and built up in the intrigue from the lead. Your prospect, your buyer, your customer is now very involved and emotionally attached to the message that you're selling them, or that you're telling them, or the story that you're weaving. But now, once they've gotten the attention, and once you've gotten their intrigue and their interest from this lead, they're going to start having objections. They're going to start asking questions. They're going to start really working through what you're asking them to do in their mind. At this point, you involve the body copy. Almost every single market goes through these 9 subconscious objections. And whether they go through all of them or some of them is kind of irrelevant, because everyone seeing that sales page will at some point appreciate you answering one or more of these 9 subconscious objections. And so instead of focusing on writing a super long letter that hits every single point, if you want the rapid copy method to get this done quickly, you focus on the 9 subconscious objections and you answer them as best as you possibly can. These 9 are pretty simple to understand. They're saying things like, this isn't right for me, or you don't appreciate me for some reason, or buying this product, I might look like a failure, or I don't have the support from you or my family or someone else. As you go down the list here of the 9 subconscious objections, you can immediately see what your target market would be saying in this situation if you understand them at the level you're supposed to for the big 4. And then you, as the service provider or the business owner, instinctively know the counter argument, or instinctively can answer or have the solution to that particular objection ready at hand. But what you do in sales copy that is usually not as easy to do in first-person sales is actively and proactively answer these objections. If you know that a person is going to say, I don't understand, then before they say that, you can explain in absolute detail, crystal clarity, what they need to know. If they don't think that your solution sounds safe for some reason, you can outline before they get there the immense amount of safety you put around the different protocols or services or products that you have. It's natural for a business owner to be able to answer objections when they understand their product or service. But what we don't tend to do is put those proactively in front of the customer before they ask them, which means you lose people who won't actively ask them or won't come out and say it. So write your body copy in 1-paragraph pieces answering each one of these objections. And if you need a way to answer each one of them and you can't immediately come up with something, use the 9 active answers that I have on the side here. So if it's not right for them, bring in logic. If they feel like you don't appreciate them, show them trust. Give them ways to trust you. If they're afraid of looking like a failure, then show them timing or why this is the right decision right now in order to make this purchase. If they feel like they don't have support, show them something different from the other options. If they feel like they don't understand, show them something more valuable than the other options, and on and on. Cost versus need when it comes to safety. What's the plan for fun? What are the logistics for control? And making an invitation for feeling welcome. These are just suggestions. If you have better answers for these 9 subconscious primary objections, then please use yours. You're the better expert in your field. But if you need a little prompt, use the 9 active answers for each one in order to build an argument paragraph around each piece of the body copy. Here's what we're going to do for body copy. First, set an alarm for 30 minutes. That's going to just go in the background. And then set a timer for 3 minutes. You're going to spend 3 minutes writing a paragraph answer to each one of the 9 subconscious objections. So for 3 minutes, answer the question of this isn't right for me. And then move on to the next one. You don't appreciate me, I may look like a failure, and on and on and on. At the end of that 30 minutes, you're going to have 9 full paragraphs answering the primary objections. And that is an amazing way to start your body copy and your sales argument. The final part of the rapid copy method is integrating an offer stack. Later on in this program, you're going to learn about the full offer stack, and we'll go through it in absolute detail. It's one of the best ways to knock people off the fence and implement a sense of urgency and scarcity into whatever offer you're making, regardless if it's a service or a product, or something that's ongoing or something that's launch-based. However, for the rapid copy method, there's an easier way and faster way to do it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. This is called the quick offer stack. Now, as long as you do these 8 pieces, you're going to have a phenomenal offer that someone will take advantage of if they're in the right target market and if they're at the right buying point. Also, this is a great way to implement urgency and scarcity when you don't have the time to do a full offer stack, or when you just want to get something out the door, whatever reason you have for doing copy quickly. The first step is the core offer. This is what you're selling. Whether it's your real estate services, whether it's your financial services, whether it's a product or a service that you do, that's your core offer. The second thing is a tool. And the best way to think about a tool is, can you give them some sort of really valuable outcome on a silver platter? As in, do you have a software? Do you have a calculator? Do you have a product or an ancillary product or an add-on that you can give them that accomplishes the goal easier for what they really want? If you're an accountant, do you have a way of tracking expenses? For example, a client that I've worked with in the past used a mobile app that was linked with his business so that he could quantify his clients' expenses as they went. That was a tool that he offered on top of his core offer. Now, there are also things that you do either in the process of your service or in the process of creating your product that created byproducts. So this is what's called the sawdust by a lot of people. If you're creating wooden beams for houses, you're producing a lot of sawdust, but sawdust has uses. You can use it as mulch, you can use it as fertilizer, you can use it as stuffing, you can use it as different things. And these byproducts that you create from delivering your main service or creating your main product are bonuses that can be offered to increase the value of the core offer, especially when you're offering them as free bonuses when you join the core offer. So try to find at least 3 of these byproducts that you can offer that increase the value of the main core offer. Finally, putting a guarantee, and putting the most strong guarantee that you can, is an amazing way to make sure that your clients feel safe, or that your prospects feel safe in joining your program or buying your product. A guarantee is by far the best way to show that you believe in your program or service. So when you do this, do it in the best way possible. Do it in the most effective and maybe the scariest way possible. If you can offer a 12-month money-back guarantee because you know no one's going to refund, the longer the better, the bigger the better. As long as you're not going to go out of business by fulfilling on a couple of the guarantees if necessary, then make it as big or as bold as you possibly can. And this is where a lot of business owners kind of get scared. By offering a money-back guarantee for a year, the natural reaction is to think, oh, I can't do that because everybody's going to refund. But that's not true in practice. Almost all the time, and I've never seen this not true in any of the clients I've ever worked with, where the longer the guarantee has resulted in more refunds. In fact, it's the inverse. The longer and more comprehensive the guarantee, the less overall refund rate that you see. And I've seen the inverse with that as well. The shorter the guarantee, the more the refund rate. Because what ends up happening is that recency of the guarantee, knowing that they only have a certain amount of time left, tends to make people second guess themselves during the buying period, or the point after the purchase where they're most remorseful. But the longer the guarantee, the easier it is for them to say, let me give this a chance, and then move on. Consider the most powerful guarantee that you can, and don't do anything that would put your business at absolute risk, but definitely think about doing the best that you can. And finally, urgency and scarcity. Urgency is based on a time limit. So if you have a certain date that you have to get this done by, or if you have a certain special for the month or for whatever reason, include that in the offer stack, because that's going to make people feel a sense of urgency to join the program or the service. And scarcity is a unit limit, which means if you only can accept a certain number of customers or students or whatever, the scarcity is going to imply that if they don't act right away to get their spot or to acquire one of the units, then they're going to miss out even if the time limit isn't up. By combining urgency and scarcity, you make a very powerful maelstrom of activity that is driving them to get off the fence and to take action on your program. Here's how to do it. Set a timer for 10 minutes, and once that timer starts, write one sentence for each part of the offer stack. One sentence, just to describe what the offer is. So set it for 10 minutes, come back, write one sentence for the core offer, one sentence to describe the tool, 3 sentences for each of the 3 byproducts. One sentence per byproduct, so 3 sentences total. One sentence for the guarantee, as powerful as you can make it, and one for urgency each and scarcity. That is the quick offer stack. And once you've completed the quick offer stack, you've completed the rapid copy method. That's it. A total of 75 minutes of writing time. And now you have a full first draft, or at least an outline of the copy that you're going to write or record, whether it's video or audio. This is one of the most effective ways to get a full, comprehensive sales message out and done. And even though it might look ugly right now, you can use the editing module to make it look awesome. You can go back through this process and refine it. 75 minutes to write powerful, comprehensive copy instead of agonizing for weeks or days or however long it takes you to write anything, or waiting for months for a copywriter to do it for you. 75 minutes and you're done. That is the rapid copy method, and I hope you enjoyed it.